Hi drama queens! Today's episode question is, do you feel insecure when you find out about your significant other's first love? Well, what if you actually get to meet them? Would you feel different? This episode puts Sungyang in that exact situation with Jiho's ex. How do you think she reacted? So get comfy everybody, and let's binge! Episode 8 starts with Jiho drunkenly confessing his feelings for Sunyan. Alcohol is the best wingman, I always say. Jiho's learned as a child to push down his true emotions, but this time he's forcing himself to be different because he doesn't want to lose the girl that he loves. This is a rainy night, but it doesn't dampen her mood one bit as she leaves Jiho's apartment. The weekend comes and a sweetened Sunyan starts baking a cake. Wu needs to follow her around the kitchen and collect garbage as she goes, otherwise there will definitely be more trash than baked goods when she's done. You would think since she marries for a living, Sungyang would be jaded by love, but this display of joy shows she's just an innocent girl who craves to be truly loved. After her baking session, Sungyang invites Miss Yu to high tea with her. The two women clearly cares for each other and both works in their own way to ensure the other person's well-being, but they're both too proud to show it. Stuck between them, Wu is super annoyed. At night, Sungyang goes for dinner with Jiho again. Not only does he remember the cheesy confession that he's made, he also remembers her caressing his face and attempting to kiss him while he's passed out. Sungyang tries to deny this out of embarrassment, insisting that he had too much to drink and dreamt it in his sleep. Jiho doesn't push her further because he's still a little insecure himself, but also because he doesn't want to come on too strong and pressure her into any decisions. In the elevator, Sunyan tells Jiho that this time she's just going to go with the flow and not force herself to find all the answers. For a person with Jiho's EQ, that makes no sense at all. He can't sleep at night trying to figure out what Sunyan means, and even posts his confusion on public forums to look for relationship advice. It's so clumsy, but so cute. As you remember, Hae-Jin is also still part of the story. He calls Wu into his office and offers him a job as his private security, since his stalker has been getting more aggressive over the past few months. Wu is at first hesitant until he sees the pay that he'll be getting. Before he accepts, he lets Hae-Jin know about his sexual orientation and the fact that people's been discriminating against him whenever they find out. Hae-Jin pauses and asks him if he wants to do anything with him, to which Wu quickly denies, stating that Hae-Jin isn't his type and he's against office romance. Then we should have no problems, Hae-Jin says dismissively, adding that he actually has a lot of gay friends. Hey, remember Wu tried to pick up Hae-Jin at the bar? Talk about lying during the job interview, huh? Hae-Jin goes home early to prepare for his date with Sunyan. He even calls her multiple times to make sure that she's coming, even though it's 2 hours before the appointment time. Before Sunyan could show up, Hae-Jin's mood is ruined by a bunch of uninvited guests. His mom and his brother have come to let him know that everyone at home is against him being with this mysterious fiancé. They want him to go on the blind dates that they have set up for him. This is the whole reason why Hae-Jin left home to start his independent life as an actor. So obviously he refuses to be chained down again. He tells them not so politely to get out. Soon, Sungyang arrives, but no one answers the door when she rings the doorbell. Hae-Jin texts her that he had to go out for some last-minute work stuff, even though he's actually at home. Guess he wants to carry his dark burdens alone. Next day, Sungyang is Jiho's wife again. The two of them attend a golf social event organized by Jiho's boss. There are some big names attending as well, and it's important that Jiho doesn't mess up. Good thing Sungyang is an excellent partner in every aspect. Golf is even one of those things that she was trained on since she was young. The wives are all super impressed by her, and in order to not drag her down, even Jiho tries hard to fit in. He forces himself to drink many cups of a disgusting tea that he normally would spit out right away, just so she doesn't have to drink it. When he notices that she has a cramp, but is carrying on like nothing is wrong, he secretly gives her some comfort items to help her ease the pain. Even though they're technically faking it, Jiho deeply feels during this experience that marriage isn't smooth sailing or a constant fanfare. It requires small sacrifices and constant maintenance every day. His actions today score highly in Sungyang's books, and she's happy about the progress he's made to become more social. However, just when she feels things are on the up and up, reps from Ina Group pays her a visit. They let her know that Miss Yu has been threatening the chairman to bring her back and give her a stable life. Sunyan thinks back to Miss Yu's weird behavior recently and realizes that the proud woman's just been trying to find ways to redeem herself for the past. While she finds some solace in Miss Yu's well intentions, she's unwilling to accept a life of charity, especially from the Ina Group that's been controlling her whole life. But even though she refuses, the reps from Ina are not fully convinced. They convey that the chairman sees her as a ticking bomb and actually hopes that she can leave Korea entirely. Hae-Jin is not having a better time. His mom barges into his apartment once again. Compared to Hae-Jin's laid-back attitude, his mom is extremely power-hungry. The two are destined to clash. Hae-Jin's been locking himself away the past few days, debating if he should drag Songyun into his messy life. His mom shows disapproval for how he's been living and badgers him to go through with an arranged marriage with another mega corporation. She reminds him that he has to fight to inherit the Hanjin group and not let himself be seduced by some low-class woman who's probably after his money. Hae-Jin's finally had enough and yells at her to get lost. But she's not done. She stakes out at the parking garage and cuts off Sungyang on her way to meet Jiho. She's sharp enough to see that Songyun looks like the mystery woman that Hae-Jin's rumored to be engaged to. She announces her own identity and invites Songyun out for tea at a fancy tea house. She doesn't outright confront or question Songyun, but Songyun knows that she's being tested. Since she doesn't know how Hae-Jin has described her, she tries to act as neutral as possible to avoid suspicion. After she leaves, Hae-Jin's mom calls her trusty secretary over to debrief. They discuss how Songyun doesn't wear any luxury clothes but looks elite, how she can distinguish expensive imported tea based on the smell, and how she can understand French from the table next to them. Their conclusion? She is no ordinary folk. Well, this extraordinary woman is having dinner with her actual lover. Whatever unpleasantness she experienced during the day is made up by Jiho. He even finally asks her to stay in Korea, something that Songyun's been secretly waiting for. He sends her down to the parking garage after dinner, where she sees Hae-Jin struggling to get into his car. She drives him to a hotel like he requested and notices that he's having a fever. Being kind-hearted to a fault, she decides she has no choice but to stay and take care of him. The next day, the tabloid dutifully reports on Songyun's rendezvous with Hae-Jin in the hotel. Jiho sees the news and thinks back to Sungyang expressing that she has genuine feelings for him just hours before the photos are taken, and gets confused about what's real and what's not. As for Hae-Jin, he wakes up in the morning and realizes that Songyang is sacrificing her personal day to take care of him on a Sunday. He is so touched by this. The next time he wakes up, it's already evening, and Songyang is still hanging around, asleep on the coffee table. Hae-Jin watches her until she wakes up. For some reason, he starts telling her his story. Turns out his mom tricked his tycoon dad into conceiving him in order to marry rich. His brothers started threatening him since he was young that if he dares to go after their inheritance, they will destroy him and his mom. This is also why he tries to stay as far away from his family as possible. Sunyan tells him that he's grown up so well despite his circumstances, and now he should enjoy life in the present. Hae-Jin takes this as an encouragement and grabs Songyun by the wrist. He asks her if he really can enjoy life in the present, if he can go after her without another thought. Songyun runs away from this awkward situation. Outside the hotel, she gets a call from Jiho asking about the leaked news of her staying in the hotel with Hae-Jin. She quickly clarifies everything, secretly happy that he feels jealous. He lets her know that he can be on his way to meet her since he wants to see her right away. Agreeing, she runs back to the hotel to wait for him since it started to rain. And here comes a Korean drama-style coincidence. Hae-Jin is meeting a PR lawyer that his agency got for him. He didn't expect Songyun to circle back, so when he sees her come back in, he introduces her to his new lawyer. At this exact moment, Jiho shows up as well, and we learn that the lawyer is in fact Jiho's ex-wife. A new character entering so late in the game. Is she going to turn the story upside down? Obviously, she's going to realize that she shouldn't have divorced Jiho and tries to wing him back now that he's starting to move on, right? That's typically how it goes. Do you guys agree? Subscribe and turn on notifications, and let's see together where this is headed in the next episode.